Before I begin, I want to discuss two mistakes I made in my Youth in Revolt review last week. The first mistake is that I said that Nick's father just happened to live near Sheeny. I didn't intend to state this as a plot point. When I wrote that line with those two words in it, I was actually thinking more about the comedy of me reacting to Nick's actions. So I didn't forget that Nick and Sheeny actually worked to get his father a job near her, it's just the way I wrote it and filmed it made it seem that way. The second mistake was a matter of me forgetting. I was questioning how Nick came up with Francois, and a lot of you guys were right. They actually do answer these questions in the movie. Thank you to everyone that pointed out my mistakes, and I am sorry if my review was misleading in any way at all. I'm just a human! Alright, start the intro. So let's talk about The Lovely Bones. The film is based on the best-selling book by Alice Sebold and is directed by Peter Jackson, who also directed this, and ooh, Monkey! The story takes place during the 1970s and is narrated from the perspective of a 14-year-old girl named Susie Salmon. She is a passionate photographer, has the love and support of her family, and is even getting looks from the boy she has a crush on in school. Life is all good. And then she's killed. Okay, what, you thought it was too harsh? Fine, we'll try it again. Life is all good, and then she's put to sleep by, that just makes her sound like a pet. So yeah, she's brutally murdered by her creepy neighbor George Harvey. The movie then intertwines three storylines. The first is that of Susie in the afterlife, the second deals with her mourning family, and the third interestingly deals with her killer. Susie refuses to go to heaven until she can reach her family and help catch her killer. George Harvey tries to hide his deed and find other victims, and her family tries to deal with the tragedy, as well as trying to find out just who is responsible for her murder. Now that you understand the basic plot, let's talk about some of the actors in the movie. I want to talk about three in particular. The first is Mark Wahlberg. Now, Mr. Wahlberg has had a couple of disappointing movies recently, and his performance in The Happening was... yeah. But here, Wahlberg has to portray a variety of emotions, and he does it here in top form, like when he was in The Departed top form. Another actor I really appreciated was Saoirse Ronan. I mean, I've seen a lot of teen actors on TV, and I know damn well they wouldn't be able to pull off this kind of complex role. But Ronan does a great job. I could really tell how good of an actor she was just by those scenes where there'd be like a close-up on her face, right? And then she'd have to portray everything in these silent facial expressions. But the one guy that stands up the most in this ensemble is Stanley Tucci. If you see just how normal of a guy he is in real life, and then you see his performance in this movie, you will probably say something along the lines of, holy shit! People just need to like throw awards at this guy from like all over the place. Although this movie is based on a 300-page book, it never feels like it's moving too fast. Jackson takes his time in carefully setting up the plot, just enough so that we have a good, tight hold on the world of the story the entire time. The time period is reflected well, and the main character is likable, and someone who we can sympathize with easily, but not because she's a teenage girl that dies. Her personality and narrations are what do it instead. The scenes where we follow Harvey are well thought out in just how they show his life and his way of thinking. The film moves back and forth between the afterlife and the real world, and in my opinion, does it seamlessly. The visuals are just stunning, and shut up, no, don't compare the visuals to Avatar. That's not fair. So like I was saying, the visuals are stunning, and there's a unique feel about them, as though you're in a dream while they play in front of you. The music is so well done that it will touch your heart the 1 second, and easily help to keep you on the edge of your seat the next second. Jackson knows what he's doing with the camera here, and he seems to choose just the right angle or distance for his shots to best convey the emotions he wants to bring out of you. We get to see Nick, and we get to see Francois. Oh, fuck. The pacing is very good at the start of the movie, but in the later half, it starts to lag a little. The structuring of this movie was also kind of weird. Thankfully, this didn't make the movie so confusing that I was lost or something like that. Although this movie has a serial killer on the loose and its share of cops, it is in no way a crime or a revenge story. Instead, this is a movie about family bonds and about loss. It's about the presence that people can have in our lives, even when they're gone. And it's about understanding what closure really means. If those kinds of themes interest you, and if you can see the visuals as more than just some art house flick wannabe, as some reviewers accuse it to be, then this movie is definitely for you. Alright, that's all I have to talk about today. To check out my main channel, click in the annotation above or the link in the sidebar. Until next time, I'm Ahmad Khan, and I am the PBCD. Alright guys, peace out.